Well, what was the first salary for the job? My first job. What was the first salary I was paid?
No, that's a hard one. Hey guys,
Hi.
welcome back to our YouTube channel.
Absolutely. If you're just joining us for the first time, this is Light
and Vision.
Vision, and together we are Light and Vision.
That's right.
Yeah, so in this channel, we talk about everything lifestyle. We introduce you to our journey through purpose, and we share about our faith and, basically how we live our lives and how we enjoy each other's company. So you're in for a very interesting ride. And then if you're returning, I just want to say thank you for all the likes, the comments, the shares, and thank you for the love.
Yeah, we like the way you engage with our videos, dropping comments and trying to tell us how it's touched you in a particular way, and that's really very nice.
Yeah, it actually keeps us going and encourages
us. We hope that
us.
you new viewers, by sharing our content with you too get inspired and be able to live your own life and probably keep wholesome memories. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how we've navigated through our careers as a couple and the tips we think are necessary for people who are building a career as young people. So we'll get into it.
Yeah, so I'm just going to be asking my husband certain questions about how he has navigated his own journey, and maybe he has different questions for me as well. And then what we do at the end, we introduce some kind of spice and games to it. So I'll be asking my husband specific questions about me and hoping that if he doesn't know it, I will deal with him. Anyway, so yeah, to the first question, for those of you who don't know, my husband is a medical doctor and I am a runaway lawyer. Actually, I haven't practiced law in a long while, so I'm just a lawyer by profession, by what I studied.
You tell us about that part of your life.
Quite interesting. Anyway, so yeah, to my first question would be that what really inspired you to become a medical doctor?
All right, I'm so happy I'm getting to answer this question because no one has ever asked me.
Really?
No one has ever asked me this question, and it's interesting it's coming from you. I know I've actually not gone through the questions you wanted to ask me, so I'll just say some things extemporaneously. Well, there's no special story to it. There's no big dream I had, but I've always known that I wanted to do something great with my life. Because I was intelligent, I used to get first positions.
You are intelligent.
Yeah, I am intelligent. What I mean is I was a bright student in class when I was growing up. I remember having to skip a particular class in my primary school because I got a very good grade, so I got what I call double promotion. So there's always been a thing of, when parents say, oh, this guy is smart, you'll be a doctor or you'll be an engineer. I knew I would do either medicine or engineering because that was what was in thing then. Looking back now, would I have chosen something different? Probably not, because I love the profession I'm in. What I would say inspired me is I wanted to save lives, I wanted to help people. I genuinely find inspiration and joy when I see other people happy, when their pains are relieved, when they have a proper diagnosis and management. Sorry for the jargons. So it's the niche I found myself, and I have no regrets. So I'll say that's my inspiration, trying to play hero and help people live a better life.
Oh, see, Spider-Man. No.
Anyway, next question.
Hero. Sorry, I'm just jesting. But I mean, it's amazing to see you be a medical doctor, because somehow, somewhere in my head, I always wanted to marry a medical doctor. It was probably
my wife fell for me because I was a handsome man, one, and probably because I studied medicine. If I was studying history,
I swear. No, to be honest, thinking back, actually, studying medicine was one of the big things for me because I was like, he's a medical doctor.
It doesn't really matter what course he's studying.
It doesn't. I know.
A good man is a good man.
Whatever. And I'll say that it was Ben Carson that actually deceived me because it was Ben. I remember reading Think Big, and I realized that I knew I don't have the brain to study medicine.
You do have the brain, babe. You do. You're a very smart woman.
Anyways, I cannot read. Maybe the cocoa is I cannot read book the way my husband reads book because this guy reads
medicine
all
requires
the time,
continuous learning,
and
it never stops.
I can't read as much as
When you reach a
he
particular
reads.
stage, you realize you don't know enough, and you have to read more and write all the exams and pass. So, but it's the life I chose, and I have no regrets.
Since I can't be a medical doctor, I married a medical doctor.
So let me flip the question to you. What inspired you to 1, study law, 2, change careers? Over to you.
I feel like it was just basically the first person who was like a mentor to me, and that's like my dad. Seeing that was what he studied in university, or that he was a lawyer as well, and then just like you, I was in the arts class, you were in the sciences, I was in the arts class, and in the art class, the highest profession you could actually aim for was law. And then especially if you're really smart, then you have your teacher say, oh no, this one's gonna be a lawyer. So I won't say that I always had a sharp mouth. I don't think I used to even talk much as a child. But just the fact that I found myself in art class, I thought I was good in government and literature and all of those art courses, art subjects, and then my dad being a lawyer as well, it just felt like the right path for me to go into. So even when I got admission into the university, and the first course I got admitted for wasn't law, I had to write JAMB again because I really wanted to study law. And then in retrospect, it wouldn't have even mattered if I continued in the past.
It's funny how we have like the same pattern to our story. Sorry for cutting you short, babe.
Yeah.
I also wrote JAMB again because I was giving a different course.
That's true. You got admitted
as
for
well.
optometry
So I
first.
initially got optometry in the University of Benin. I studied for 1 year and I dropped out. Anyway, I didn't drop out. I wrote JAMB again, just like my wife.
Yeah.
And I had to come back to study medicine.
Interestingly,
for my wife, you didn't have to leave.
No, I didn't lose any year. I didn't lose any year. I got transferred. Well, not luckily. God really was on my side because it was just like one of my biggest miracles. Till date, one of my biggest miracles, how God just turned things around for the good. Dad.
Okay, the next question. What inspired you to change career, or just tell us a story?
Nothing. There was no inspiration to change career, to be honest. It was more or less I needed to find my bearing. So I wasn't inspired to study so right now I'm into project management. I work here in the UK as a project analyst, but it wasn't an inspiration. It was more or less I needed to find my bearing. I needed to find myself. I needed to find my niche. I needed to find what I felt I was good at and what I could do.
Yeah, and you were already doing something similar in Nigeria even before you came here.
I left law practice majorly because I didn't find the right mentorship. So even though I said my father is a lawyer, I didn't stay at home necessarily. I was the kind of child that wanted to just be thrown into the world to go and find my own way and explore. So I got into law firms, but it wasn't exactly what I thought it should be, right? It wasn't. I mean, there were a lot of practices I can't even say out here, right? But a lot of things just didn't feel right to me, and I felt like this wasn't the best way to practice law. And I remember saying to myself that when I quit that job, I said to myself that if I wasn't going to work in a structured firm, maybe like a partnership or any of those top tier law firms, I was going to quit law. And also interestingly, at that time I started to develop a flair for the non-for-profit space. I even had a non-for-profit myself, but I knew that I still wanted to just shadow someone. I wanted to work in the corporate space to learn how the corporate space works and how to navigate companies and all of those things. So yeah, I wouldn't say that project management is my final destination, to be honest. I'm still basically navigating myself.
Finding yourself. I think discovering purpose is a lifelong journey.
Exactly.
Understanding where you need to be at what point in your life. And really, if you don't like where you are, move. you're not a tree. I know you must have heard that quote before.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get stuck into things that probably you should have moved on for a long time ago, just because you are familiar with that space. My wife is someone who's very good in not settling. She knows how to just look for the next big thing. And while we've talked about it, sometimes it's good, sometimes it feels like you don't get to stay in a particular place for too long.
A long time.
You're looking for another thing, another challenge. I like the fact that you have that drive and that ambition. Well, you have to have that balance as well. Anyway, to my next question. Now that you've switched careers and you're now in project management space, is this a springboard for you for something next you are looking onto, like probably the next thing? And if that answer is yes, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Oh God, what kind of question is that? You want me to say that for YouTube family? Anyways, so I mean, I said earlier that project management is not the final destination for me. It's like you use the word springboard. It's a springboard onto
greater things.
Yeah, greater things. And quite frankly, I'll be lying to you if I tell you, oh, this is exactly where I see myself in the next 5 years, and I'm for certain, and I'm following the trail path.
But you have vision, so you can see.
My husband is he's the one who plans. I plan as well, but I'm good at planning the now. My husband is good at planning the future. So both of us coming together strikes like a very important balance, because if you had told me 5 years ago what my dream 5 years from 5 years ago was, I don't know if I'm making any sense.
Yeah,
it wouldn't have been.
You saw yourself in 5 years.
It wasn't, doing project management, working in a company in UK. I don't know if you get where I'm going. So it's more or less like I'm good at planning the now and maybe like my immediate, next step. So what do I need goals, to exactly the short-term goals? What do I need to get to the next phase? I need to do some certification. So, those are the things I get to plan. I need to do my masters, and then the end goal is for me to one day own my own firm, whether events management. So I mean, I love everything events management. I love everything organizing. If you know me by now, you know that Sandra always has a flair when it comes to putting things together or organizing a space or organizing an event, be it corporate, be it casual, social, whatever the case may be. That's where I have a strong, even non-for-profits, right? So I have my own non-for-profits. Someday I hope to grow that into something bigger. But in the meantime, I feel like I'm just developing my skills.
Use the opportunity for the NGO to help more people.
To help more people in the long run. So for now, I just feel like I'm developing my skills. I'm developing, myself. Just on that journey. I want to someday manage massive projects as a project manager. I want to manage even government projects. I want to be at the center to say that, it was Sandra who spearheaded the team, who led the team to deliver something as massive as probably setting up even a refinery in Nigeria, because that's project management, right? And as a project manager, I feel like I can work anywhere I want. I can work in the legal space if I want to. I can work in the public sector,
so it
in
gives
government.
You that good platform.
Yes, it does give me that platform.
Do any other thing you want to do.
Absolutely.
Well, what I've gotten from what you've said is make use of the experiences you have now, because they will count in the future.
Exactly.
You take me back to the story of David in the Bible. The people of Israel were perplexed when Goliath showed up and was asking for a challenger. The battle-ready warriors could not handle the situation. They had the experience, but of course they didn't have the confidence enough in that moment to fight him. But you see, the experience of David in the bush or the forest, killing a lion and a bear with his bare hands and protecting his sheep, was enough experience for him. Of course, the anointing of God was upon his life as well. But that little experience he had was like the springboard in this situation, and helped him stand in battle with confidence.
I often say that Goliath. God is just my connector. So that my life is like, little, or everything I do is like little dots here and there. And God is the one who draws the line of my life and connects every skill, everything I've picked up at one firm. Even my law is the course I study is definitely not a waste. So even though I feel like I'm not practicing law, it's definitely led me to this point where I am.
In Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, said you can't connect the dots looking forward. It's usually a retrospective thing. You look back and like, wow, so that's why. No, really, that's why I had to do that to be where I am today. So everything connects, but you can only connect them when you look back. So enjoy the journey, plan from A to B in the short, medium term, and I'll look into the future. I know you're going to do big things, babe. I know.
Aww.
I'm so sure of it.
Thank you.
So, yeah. So, do you have any question
of course. I was going to ask you what your biggest challenge has been studying or being a medical doctor, and then also as you grow through your career.
So right from when I graduated in uni, that was in 2017. Studying uni, by the way, one of the best medical schools in Nigeria. Anyway, I'm not trying to brag.
I studied in uni, so I should not roll my eyes.
Well, yeah, we were taught medicine, both the theory and the practical. But one thing I've faced as a medical doctor, especially when I have a patient in front of me, is, am I doing the best for this patient? Am I going to make a decision that would be beneficial to them? I always think about it. Is my knowledge sufficient enough in this field to be the best person that this patient needs? And sometimes we even have what we call imposter syndrome, where you feel you are just pretending to be who you're not. So they call you the doctor, but in a way you feel deficient. You feel what you know is not enough to help the patient. But these are things you have to just work, like have a mental energy to brush those doubts and second guessing yourself, and of course spend time updating your skills and your knowledge. So I think that's what my biggest challenge is when I'm in front of a patient and I feel, do I have what it takes to help this patient? But of course it's a lifelong journey, and I keep on updating myself to make sure I'm the best version of myself every day.
Yeah, and you know, to be honest, I feel like that imposter syndrome, it shows up at different levels of life.
It does.
You don't have to be, I mean, I'm not a medical doctor, but I can tell you for free that sometimes that shows up when I feel like,
what am
exactly,
I doing here?
you ask yourself, what am I doing here? Especially, we're going to even have one episode where we talk about how I basically started my life as a project manager and how it was so difficult. And you ask yourself, like, am I supposed to be here? Like, did I lie on my CV or something? Like, I'm not who these people think I am. You know, it shows up, and I don't know about you or in your, I don't know what you do as, you know, as your own career and how you get to navigate that imposter syndrome. But you just have to tell yourself that you're right where you should be.
True.
And then where you start to feel uncomfortable, it means that it's just an opportunity for growth.
Yeah, it's an opportunity for growth.
It's just an opportunity
if you notice a deficiency, try and get the knowledge and skills.
Don't lie to yourself.
To build that area of your life, and that's how you grow constantly.
Constantly.
What I knew 5 years ago would not keep me. Will not help my patient today. While knowledge evolves, so I need to evolve as well, and that's life for you.
Yeah.
Right. Next question.
You've asked me the same question, but I was just going to ask you: are there any opportunities for growth for you that you're looking to explore in?
Yeah, definitely. And I think one of the reasons why I plan to study in general practice, because I'm training to become a general practitioner in the UK, is because of the flexibility it gives you to diversify and do what you love to do. So you could actually diversify into heart, cardiology, medicine, sports medicine, diabetes. There's no limits to what you could do, and I want to be that doctor who actually loves helping people, and what I'm thinking about is doing more things like addiction medicine and things that young people are affected by, like drugs, hard drugs and stuff.
What about surgery?
Okay. Scratch back. I love my wife, and I love the fact that she has put in this now. So initially, when I was in 100 level 200,
when you were wooing me and toasting me,
I wanted to be a neurosurgeon.
And I asked him, what do you want to be? Say you want to be a neurosurgeon.
This is me officially saying that I still want to be a neurosurgeon, but in the meantime, my short-term goal is to be a general practitioner and
you deceived me.
So
my husband deceived me. He told me he was going to be in the
Bencasin,
reception.
I know I failed.
What? I thought it was going to be
I know I
opening
failed
brain.
Bencasin, but not today.
Anyways, jokes aside, when he told me he was going to be in the resurgent, I was like, yeah, my husband's going to be like Ben Carson. He's going to separate, conjoined twins.
I could still be. I still have some years.
Anyways, that's
why did you bring that up?
No, you're calling all the things you want to be addiction medicine. You do not tell me. You told me you wanted to deal in drugs. Maybe I would have. I would have reconsidered this decision to be your wife.
Anyway, so another thing I would like to say will be for those who probably are not studying professional. When I say professional courses, the big names, the names that parents would love their children to be. But the world has evolved. The world has changed. You see, if it's even the money you're looking for, this is A-list.
We're the poorest people.
You're not really poorest. You just be comfortable. But if you're really looking for fulfillment, do what you love to do.
Yeah.
There are jobs that really would not be classified as the big, or courses that would not be classified as the big courses, but they actually pay more than the usual law or medicine that you know of. Data analyst,
tech
IT,
is like the big
tech.
money.
So do what you love. Do the thing that makes you get up in the morning. Things that you love doing. Spend your time and energy in those things.
Is now
exactly.
Like
people make money off the internet and
it's like
doing
sometimes
so well
when I see those people, let me not say it's one of the reasons why I found myself on YouTube.
No, YouTube. Why that's necessary. You build content
and build passive income as you grow.
Income. I think sharing memories like this is beautiful. Like in the next 10 years, you look back and like, oh my God, we did this.
We've grown so much.
We've
exactly.
grown so
yeah,
much. So we are trying to document, and this is the best way to do so.
Yeah.
Of course, the money will come, but we are not using that as our primary.
Basically, whatever you find yourself doing, just be the best at what you do, and then the added benefits will just come through. So you don't have to be a medical doctor. If you're a medical doctor, I salute you.
Anyway, so last thing before we wrap it up, what's your advice to people who are trying to switch careers, or they're entering a new phase in their life and they don't know what to do? What would you advise them? You've been in that situation before. What would be that one advice you give them?
I would say be comfortable stepping out of your comfort zone.
We need to jot things down.
It's just basically that you step into the deep waters, because to be honest, you're going through uncharted territories. Okay. It's not something you probably know about, and it's okay to not know about everything at the start.
What if they drown?
You can't drown. If you're drowning, shout for help.
If you step into deep water when you can't swim, and there's no lifeguard to save you, you drown.
Guy, this is not supposed to be this deep now.
Well, of course, step into deep waters, but as you step into deep
waters, stepping into deep waters,
get the necessary survival skills
your
to keep
survival
you afloat.
kits. That was what I was saying. Exactly, your survival kits. Look for your lifeguard, or look for your life jackets, whatever, your floaters, and all of those things. And those are in form of getting the necessary skills
and knowledge.
I didn't just jump into project management. There were certain steps I had to take. I had to take courses. Sure. I had to write exams. I had to study and study and study to the point where I was able to speak the project management language. Yeah. So there's a lot of preparation. So you don't just of course I say, dare to step into the deep waters, but while you're doing that, get your necessary survival kit, so that once you're thrown into the real thing, you would still struggle, because you don't know how to swim yet. You get you're literally just learning with your floaters, so you will struggle. You will drink a lot of water. You would that means you would literally cry at some point. You will ask yourself questions like, what am I really doing here? So if you are doing something else and you want to venture into tech, it's not going to be easy at the start, but definitely you get your mojo as you go on. The same with whatever thing you want to go into, maybe content creation, for instance. You put out videos, nobody's liking, no one is commenting, but as long as that's what you want to do and you're putting a lot of hard work into it, just keep at it.
And improving yourself constantly.
Exactly, keep improving yourself constantly, and then your big break will certainly come.
Definitely.
So that's what I'm
saying. To add, not everyone will have to switch their career. Some people you just need to be patient in where you are
and stay there for 20 years
and develop yourself. and improve. You may not have to leave where you are to become a better person. Other persons will have to leave, like run away as far as possible from that profession and career path. But know what works for you and be prayerful. Try to navigate your life with the help of the Spirit of God. He said, if anyone lacks wisdom, let him ask. And wisdom comes with direction, with insight. Don't just make a decision because other people are doing something similar. It may not work for you. Everyone has their own timing. Everyone has their own clock. So let the wisdom of God direct you.
Absolutely.
You will not be frustrated. You will never be put to shame if you follow the wisdom of God in what you do.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, that's our
No,
little bit.
you've asked me your own final question. I'm not asking my final question.
Okay. Sorry. Shoot.
Anyways, so tying it back to us, and I'm going to ask you this question, like, what are your expectations of your partner, that's me, obviously, in helping you fulfill, your highest potential, maybe reaching to the peak of your career, and also all the things that you're passionate about?
This is a very good question, because I know you would not really understand the medical terms and medical innuendos and nuances that probably I would want you to know if I need to discuss some things with you. But it shouldn't be something that stops you from being a huge support to me. And you're already doing that in a very big way. The fact that you take care of me so well and you make me happy. I'm not saying this is to make you blush, but it's the truth. You actually look out for me,
my powers.
And you know my language. You know how to speak in my language, and that's really good. Yeah, you do.
I do.
Yeah, you do.
And but off camera, I used to complain. Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, it's the generality of what's positive and what's negative, and once the positive trumps negative, that's fine. You don't need to score 100% to pass a course. So
I'm not 100%.
No one is perfect. I'm not 100% either. It's the fact that you are putting in the best effort to make, as in your effort known, and your effort is appreciated, very much appreciated. I think I've said this before in previous videos. The biggest asset I've gotten since I got married is peace of mind, as in rest, as in there's no form of anxiety, there's no form of chaos or worry. My wife doesn't bring drama. And it's
drama free.
It's a big deal for me. I come home and I look forward to being with her. I look forward to being in her arms. And she's thoughtful. She's kind. She's loving.
Babe, it's not about. I see how we're talking anyway. So continue.
Those are the things that make me excel at what I do. I go to work. I see a patient. I'm smiling. The other day, the patient said, "You have the best smile I've ever seen." I'm like, "Oh, really?"
So for me.
No. You're not my patient. So it comes from the background of having love, having peace in the home front. And I love the fact that you are the one I'm spending the rest of my life with, and I have the opportunity to grow and become a better person with you. So yeah, that's the support.
Yeah, come on, give me one kiss. Once more, yeah. Alright guys, thank you for coming to our YouTube channel where we talked about our career. We hope you've learned one or two things from our discussions today.
Yeah.
Don't go just yet. We are coming back with some spice. Okay, so we're back. In here I have some.
Oh my word, God.
What is this? Powder. So, let me even outline itself. I'm going to be asking my husband questions about me. Okay. And he's going to ask me questions as well.
I don't. Okay.
And
this is not going to end well. I already see myself covered and buried with powder. Let's go. Let me
add more.
I'm going to shock you. No, calm down now.
Wait. Okay, so since we're talking about career, I'm going to talk about what was the first salary for the job, my first job. What was the first salary I was paid?
Wait, now that's a hard one now.
It's not a hard one. What's the first salary I was paid?
1K appearance fee, 20K. Total amount was 20K. Was it lower than that?
It was lower than that.
Sure, you're suffering though.
My first, it was 4K.
4K?
Yes, that was my first salary.
Is that NYC stuff?
Yeah, that was during NYC.
What was 30 or 20?
No.
Wow.
It was 4K. So then, of course, NYC Alawi doesn't count.
Your life, so.
How are you into my life?
You're just in a hurry to pour. You don't even give me option like, oh, is that your final answer? I will now have some clue that this is not the right answer. Anyway, next question.
Am I supposed to be? You ask me on.
Okay, yeah. What was my first ambition? What did I want to
And
be?
you wanted to be a conductor. You wanted to be a bus conductor now?
Sit down. No.
Wait, you wanted to be a bus? Okay, sorry, I'm
drunk.
drunk. Sorry. Banker. Policeman. Wait, now, did I not get it?
That's your third try. Something has to touch your face. Something has to touch your face at least.
Be my cousin.
Let me just be sorry.
I
for
say
you.
I'm robber.
How can I want to be an armed robber?
No, it was the opposite of police.
This for even thinking armed robber, self-take. You're bad, man. I wanted to be an armed robber. I wanted to be a policeman. That was my first ambition.
I thought was.
When I started having sense, I was like, nah, conductor. Because I saw them holding stacks of money. I was like, wow, these guys would be rich. I think it about 4 or 5 years. Yeah.
Thank God they chose.
Then
Thank God
after a while, I realized the money is not actually their own. So
Thank God they chose the doctor in the car.
yeah, so I had to remove the con from the conductor. Anyway, yeah, I am.
To my second question. Where's my powder? See, I need to arm myself.
I've already covered it, enough powder, babe.
For the second question.
Yeah, next question.
Who's my role model?
Yeah, you have many role models. You calm down, let me answer.
Okay.
On Instagram, you have 2 role models. One is Ayo Mariese. 2 is Tomike. I don't get it. Please give me powder on my tongue.
Wait, it's not like they're my role model. Like,
But people, you're always liking their post. Anytime I go to
liking
their
their
page,
posts doesn't mean they're my role model now.
that's it now. You look up to them and you are
Okay, yeah, I
inspired
look
by
up to
them.
them, I'm inspired
give me
by them,
powder.
but the
You
main
cannot
cocoa
call me
person
powder. I
is...
got it. It's the 2.
You got quarter. The main person is Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I have to give you
Lesser. No, it's not more. You chose that question on your own. How many operation videos you watch on Instagram?
I watch a lot on YouTube.
More than Tomike.
Babe, my podcast is literally Oprah Winfrey.
No, wala. That's good.
Babe, open my podcast. It's literally Oprah Winfrey.
Alright,
Why
next
you...
question. What's the name of the book that your husband wrote?
Shit. Wait.
Hey, calm down.
Hey, wait. The act of public speaking.
Oh my.
Hey.
It's my wife. So I need to know. You never know.
Happy birthday.
Father is not enough.
Wait.
Yeah.
Confidence.
You look confident. Magnificent. Oh my God. Oh my God. So I read a book, Behind the Scenes.
Behind the scenes. I knew it was.
Let's get serious. You need to pray for forgiveness, and I'll consider it before forgiving you.
No, I'm actually ashamed of myself. I hope you are too.
I got
Anyway,
most of your questions.
you didn't get it.
Oprah Winfrey just strolled in, so we know.
She didn't speak.
She's
You're
like,
not.
okay,
You're not
she's-
attentive. But I listen to her a lot. If you check my YouTube,
You follow on Instagram.
I follow her on Instagram. But she's top on my podcast. Anyways, thank you guys for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and please share it to your friends. Forget the fact that I'm looking like a white, doing what those people. Anyways, bye guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.